Obviously, Tammy's got a hat-trick against Wolves earlier in the season, but Giroud's in such sparkling form at the moment that, there's no change there, and there's no surprise there. Giroud's been incredible, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He seems to score very important goals for us as well. So that was one of the first names I would have expected on the team sheet today, just because in games of this kind of importance and this kind of magnitude, you need just somebody who's got a cool head, somebody who's a killer. We know what he can do when he gets in the box. Also, it looks like we're playing the three at the back, which will allow all the good deliveries to come in from the side. So it does definitely make sense for Olivier to and I just feel like he'll be a big part of our successful journey into the Champions League today.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at that race for Champions League football. We'll see our top three here. At the moment, Manchester United in the box seat after 37 games, won 17, drawn 12, lost 8, goal difference of 28, 63 points. We are joint with 63 points, but in fourth position due to goal difference and won 19 games, one more than anyone else in our little battle, which is obviously important. And Leicester City with 62 points. So, Zach, it seems very simple. It seems very straightforward. On paper, we need a point today, and I think you'd argue, all of us sat here now, if at the start of the season you'd have said you got a home game, final game of the season, you need a point for Champions League football, and you're in an FA Cup final, we'd have snapped your arm off, wouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely, especially how it was at that time. We'd not seen Mason Mount play for Chelsea. We'd not seen Tammy start up front and Pulisic come through. It was very much the unknown. We'd just lost Eden Hazard, and so we would 100% have snapped your hand off, and now we're here, and I've said it over the past few weeks, and it's the same case today. Whatever happens, it's in our own hands. We're not relying on a United win or a Leicester loss or win or whatever. At the end of the day, as long as Chelsea come out with something today, we'll be in the Champions League next year, and I really hope we are.
Liv, I know that we've all felt very nervous. I mean, thankfully, our group chat is private, all of ours on Matchday Live, and it's not going out everywhere else, because I think all of us have been fairly nervous since waking up this morning. But what's it been like on social media today?
Yeah, I think there is a sense of excitement knowing that it's in our hands, as Zach says. Stuart said, I'm feeling really nervous, like a cup final nervous feeling. I'm like, Stuart, we've got a cup final next week, so God knows what he's going to feel like when that comes about. Eunice has tweeted saying, I am quite optimistic, but I'm also quite scared. We can do it if we're solid at the back, like we know we can be. Hopefully we can just get the job done. A lot of people, this is Steve, he said, relaxed. I trust Frank and them to turn up. And I also see United beating Leicester as well. Obviously, will be a nervy watch, but I completely back us. Now, obviously, we've seen the two big changes are Caballero for Kepa and Pulisic. Obviously, we saw the brilliant performance and brilliant impact he had coming off the bench against Liverpool. And Murphy has said, Caballero starting, but I'm so glad Pulisic is. He had to start. Our team is strong. Come on, Chelsea. No excuses for not finishing top 4 today. Come on, you Blues. And Rob said, come on, Pulisic. Lead us to the Champions League. Win or draw, boys. That's all we need. So I think it's a case of today. It's just even if you get that point, obviously we'd love to win. And I think I can speak for most Chelsea fans in saying we are nervous, a little bit nervous today, but we know we're more than capable of beating this Spurs side. And also, I think when I saw that Wolves team sheet, I was quite happy to see Adama Traore on the bench. A little bit scary that he might be coming on with half an hour to go.
Yeah.
But, for a long chunk of the game, given they have no injuries, we don't have to face against a player who will get past that any one of our defenders. He just does. Doesn't matter who he comes up against. His pace is too much for every single defender. But yeah, I'm optimistic, and we are capable of pulling big performances out the bag when we need them. So yeah, we're going to do another one today.
Love that. Well, I'll tell you what, let's recap the team that Frank Lampard has selected for this afternoon against Wolves in the Premier League. Willy Caballero in goal, Reece James, Antonio Rudiger, Kurt Zouma, Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso, Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Olivier Giroud and Christian Pulisic. On the bench for Chelsea today, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Andreas Christensen, Ross Barkley, Tammy Abraham, Pedro, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Fikayo Tomori and Emerson. Jason, I know it's a fairly straightforward one, but I suppose the thing going into this game is Wolves are very good at what they do, but it also means that you can kind of plan for what they're going to do, surely. We know they're going to go 3-5-2 because they've done it every game for the last 18 months. They're just very, very good at it.
They are very good at it, and that's the way that they play, and they won't change for anyone else. And what we need to remember is that the early part of the season, we went to their place, Molyneux, I was there with Ben, and we turned them over convincingly. The first half performance was as good as any Chelsea performance this season. We were outstanding. Rudiger came off injured just before half time, and Zuma came in, and they had to be better second half, and they were. But we ran out comfortable winners. And look, I think 3 at the back suits us at times. I think the way we're going to play today suits us. If we played a 4, I think most Chelsea fans would be scratching their heads. We have to play a 3. I've seen the way we've done it recently. Okay, Liverpool, things didn't quite work out, but I thought overall going forward we looked decent. Against Manchester United proved the case. So yes, it's absolutely the right call. And I suppose you look at their bench and think what they can do to change the game. We've got 1 or 2 on our bench as well that can change the game as well. But and we live said earlier, I'm comfortable and confident that we can get the result that we need here today. But let me tell you now, this is a tricky fixture.
Joe,
Absolutely right.
Joe,
Yep.
just quickly, gone on to Willie, and I've seen Williams posted on social media. He said, "I did treatment until the last minute to be able to be on the field, but this time, unfortunately, it will not be possible. I will be at Stamford Bridge supporting my teammates. Come on, Chelsea!" So it is just confirmed by William himself. It is just an injury. So fingers crossed, he will be fit for the FA Cup final next week.
That's a great point, Liv, as well, because I think we've all said this for the last fortnight or so, but you're looking and you're monitoring, you're keeping an eye on any N'Golo Kante news because we know how important he is. But Pat, that's a really good point that Liv's made there. You know, we have got an FA Cup final next Saturday, and obviously there'd be no sort of we won't be any complacency today. We're focused on Wolves, but also the fact that now you've got an opportunity for the likes of Mason Mount, for the likes of Kovacic, Jorginho, whoever's got N'Golo Kante or William breathing down their neck, hoping for a cup final spot if they can get fit. And that's just an added incentive to say, Frank's done it time and time again. You play well, you keep your position, regardless of what your name or stature is in the club. Oh, we've lost Pat again. We've still got no sound from you, Pat. And it's a shame, mate, because I know whatever you were going to say would be absolute gold. So hold fire on that for a second. Dan, Jason mentioned it a little bit earlier, the 5-2 earlier in the season. You know, Wolves have played very well consistently. I think they've got 59 points there, 6th in the league. So they've got their own little battle today about securing 6th place. They're not going to want to drop out of any sort of Europa League qualification. It's important for them to maintain a position in Europe because they are now that good. But that said, the areas where you'd say they're, I suppose, most lethal, Doherty and Johnny from wide areas, you'd say as well, when we play a 5, Reece James and Marcus Alonso, 2 of our most creative players. Yeah.
So again, it's kind of like last week where it seems like the most important battles are on the width. So we're going to have Reece James and Alonso having to have another good game. It's a weird one because, you know, when you look at Wolves, or not when you look at Wolves, but over the years, you know, I expect Wolves at home to be 3 points. But the Premier League is that good now, and they have become that good now where it is just, yeah, you can win, but you're going to have to work every minute of those 90 to do it. And that's the thing. They can hurt you from, you know, I know you've named those 2 players, but Jimenez is a problem, you know. Jota is a huge problem as well. We've got a lot of areas of this pitch to have to plug to stop them. So, yeah, whilst I feel like we should beat Wolves or get something from this game, you can't fall asleep for even one minute with this team that they've got right now because they will punish you.
Joe, can I just jump in for a second now? You can probably hear me now. The reason being, I plugged the microphone in. That always helps, I find. Very quickly, just to say, we're talking about this 3-5-2. I see them more as a 3-4-3 team. I'd say so. I say they're a 3-4-3 team against us. Now, they can play 3-5-2, and they've done it a few times this season. But the thing that was intrigued me most about this, we're 3-4-3, they're 3-4-3. We're basically matched up, which means that you will have individual battles. And if you've got individual battles, it's going to be difficult to say, like Saish, maybe he's playing right centre-back or whatever. He's going to be man-and-man quite a bit, and say Pulisic. I put Pulisic against anybody man-and-man. Yeah. So we're going to get a lot of man-and-man all over the field without a lot of cover if they do play their normal 3-4-3. And I think it's really intriguing. Hey, 5-3 the other night, 5-2 the last time we played them. Anybody want to change their predictions?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Pat. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Obviously, it's going to be a busy day. So that is all for now. But we are back at 20-4 when Carlton Cole's going to be joining us, which is going to be really cool. Lots to say, lots to talk about. Obviously, the build up to Chelsea's final Premier League game of the season. There's another game going on as well in Leicester as they match up against Manchester United. We'll keep you up to date with that and all the other scores around the Premier League. So make sure you stick with us and stay tuned. You can check out Chelsea's warm-ups next as well. But we're going to hear from the boss first.
There's a possibility that he'll feature. He's trained probably for the first